I'm gonna start a course like Jeremy, and I'm gonna charge up to 20K, hey. And then I'm gonna have people buy stocks that crash 20% a day, hey. But my channel will keep growing because YouTube is stupid like that. Woo! Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance, everybody. My name is Christopher Belly. I'm in dire need of a phone mount, and I'm a long-term boglehead investor. I'm author of the book Stop Being a Broke Loser. It's on Amazon. And I want to tell you a little story about my life, okay? So as y'all know, I used to work for NASA. Oh my God, were you an astronaut? No, I was just an accountant. Now, a lot of people think getting into NASA is a hard thing to do. Let me tell you what, it's actually not that hard if you're a veteran, okay? Especially if you have a disability rating. You basically get shooed into any federal job you want. So if somebody says they work at NASA, I mean, unless they got in without like any assistance, okay, they probably got in through some kind of, welfare or diversity kind of thing. But we're not talking about NASA. Well, it's related to the story, okay? So I was working at NASA, and for a long time I was considering quitting. Now, I had a very clear career path laid out in front of me. If I stayed with NASA, I would just get automatically promoted over time to a GS-13. And once I was a GS-13, I would make about 90 grand a year with periodic raises and inflation adjustments. And I would have a pension, I would have sick leave, and I would have holiday leave. But I kind of had this irrational fear. Well, it's not really irrational. It's actually perfectly rational. I had this fear of being a skillless, worthless sack of trash that nobody wants to hire. Now, if you're young and you're just finishing high school or whatever, you got to realize you don't know how to do anything, okay? You have no freaking skills, besides whatever you may have picked up, I don't know, carpeting or something. But most high schoolers are worthless scum, okay? I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to be that harsh. What I'm trying to say is you probably don't have a freaking skill. Now, what I did is I went and joined the Army right after college, okay? And I was an infantry officer. Now, what does that mean? What skills did I have? None! Oh, I know how to do maneuver, defense operations, management, security operations. Yeah, that's a very employable job in the civilian sector. And when I decided to get out of the military, I quickly realized I needed a freaking skill. And it was pretty terrifying because I didn't have any skills, okay? And at least I'm honest enough to admit it. At least I was honest enough to admit it because it drove me to improve myself. So I said, as I was getting out of the military, I will never, ever, ever be in a situation again where I am stuck dependent on one income and not having any freaking skills. So I decided to pursue accounting. I mean, I did financial advising for a little bit, but that was a freaking scam. Financial advisor, policies. Financial advisors are scum, trust me. I know, I was one. And I'm scum, look at me. Eventually I settled on accounting, and then I was so motivated to never be a skillless, unemployable F that I studied my butt off. And I got my bachelor's, my master's, I got my CPA license, I got my certified government financial manager license. Yeah, that really pays the big bucks. But working at NASA, even then, there's no tangible skill you get from NASA. Okay, let's say NASA has layoffs and you've been a federal government accountant. Yo, the benefits are so good and they're so comfortable. Well, what skills do you have? Where can you possibly make money? How could you start your own business? How could you be self-employed working for the government? You never freaking will, okay? So after a while, and I was bored out of my freaking mind, and there's some real dumb people that work there, I'll tell you what. You think people are smart at NASA? Pfft, I mean, maybe the rocket scientists, but not the accountants. There are some smart people there too, really smart people, but there's also some idiots. Anyway, after a while, I really got into my head that I could, just stay in this job and, I'll get my little pension. That's kind of a ripoff, and that they probably invest mostly in treasuries. And eventually, after some drama, I decided to quit. So now, or at that point, I had a choice, okay? I said, where am I going to go in the field of accounting? And I started applying for a bunch of jobs. And I sustained myself in between jobs. I was in between jobs for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I applied to a bunch of different jobs. I got 2 offers. I got one from an accounting firm, a tax accounting firm. And I got one from a, basically like a large, I think it's a Fortune 500 company. Now, the Fortune 500 company, I would be doing a financial accounting role, you know, closing the books, blah, 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 blah. And I would have made $10,000 more and had a 401k, and I would have had better health benefits, basically all the benefits in the world with this job. My other option was the tax accounting job, which offered me $10,000 less, and they were going to make me work well over 40 hours a week during tax season. I mean, the benefits are okay, and there's no 401k, and there's leave, but there's barely any. So I had a choice. Oh, and also, the Fortune 500 company was completely 100% remote. So I could have taken the Fortune 500 company, made $10,000 more a year. I could have had awesome health insurance, 40 hours a week, ton of leave. But I decided to go with the tax job. And let me tell you why. It's a very simple thing, okay? You're either someone that's destined to be an employee your whole life, or you're destined to be somebody that starts their own business. Now, I'm not trying to be like these scammers on YouTube that are like, start your own business. Start your own business, bro. No, you need to actually know what you're freaking doing and have a skill set to start your own business. So I looked at tax and I said, well, I already have the license. I just need to get some tax accounting experience. And if I go to public accounting, that experience will pay massive freaking dividends. Massive dividends, okay? Or I could have taken that comfortable financial accounting job, never had an opportunity to be self-employed. I guess you could be self-employed after working in financial accounting, but I think doing tax, you're way more self-employable, if that makes sense. So I turned down $10,000 more a year and a 401k and easy hours and 100% remote to currently work 60 hours a week, get paid $10,000 less, not have a 401k, and yada, yada, yada. But I have no qualms about it. I'm actually extremely happy with my decision, okay? You need to be very strategic in your career moves, all right? You need to know what your goals are. I mean, my goals are to eventually, one day, I'm going to be self-employed. I think I can make a freaking fortune if I start a tax business. And I have a bunch of other side jobs. You could do that, or you could decide to be an employee. But understand that if you're an employee and you're dependent on one source of income, if you have a crappy boss, which I've had before, both in the Army and at NASA, and, you know, you could have a crappy boss and you're stuck. You can't go anywhere. You're stuck for freaking ever. And you just have to live that toxic life. Or you can make some strategic moves when you're younger, or I mean, really doesn't matter what age you are, to get such a high level skill set that you can start your own business. So that's the story of me turning down $10,000. I mean, I could have been maxing my 401k right now. I'm actually just contributing to a taxable account, you know. That's all I can do. I mean, I have my Roth, already maxed that out, I guess the Army, I have a 401k, but I haven't done any Army stuff recently. I need to get in the ball with that. But anyway, that's my little rant, my little story. Don't get stuck. If you really don't want to be basically a slave to an employer, you need to get a skill set. And if you have to take a pay cut or work hard, like I'm working 60 hours a week, if that's what you got to do, freaking do it, okay? Anyway, that's my story. You guys have a wonderful day. Cheers.